Hello YouTube, this is Johnny Ohm. I come before you today with a blown mind. I just got home from a concert of the one, the only, the magnificent Weird Al Yankovic. Oh my god. This was hands down the best concert that I've ever been to. It was just amazing on so many levels. The set list was great. The fact that he was able to change costumes so quickly for a new performance was pretty impressive. And the fact that instead of just making us wait on the edge of our seats for the next song, he showed several Al TV clips that referenced stuff that he starred in, things that where he's mentioned TV shows, cartoons and stuff. It was amazing how they did that, and even so, the costume changes were really quick, and that's impressive to pull off. Being in theater, I know, trust me. The set list, it was incredible. Where do I start? He did his modern day polka from his new album, where he did like Poker Face, Baby, Replay. He did a bunch of modern songs, a lot of them not necessarily ones that I care for, but it's a polka, so it was pretty cool. He also did some song about a family TV or something, I don't remember. He did one of his new songs, TMZ, which is a parody of You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift. That was just very well done. He did Smells Like Teen Spirit, and in that one, at the part where it says, "And I forgot the next verse," and then he just goes silent for the rest of it. It was hilarious. I was in the crowd, I was all singing it and stuff, but then it was like, what's he doing? Why isn't he sing? Oh, I get it. He forgot the next verse. I thought that was pretty funny. I didn't get it until a second later, but it was good. He did Skipper Dan, one of his newer songs where he's talking about being a Jungle Cruise worker, partying the CIA. Thank you for doing a song that parodies Miley Cyrus. I hate that woman. Something about Charles. I don't even remember. I've never heard this song before. That one and the thing that I mentioned earlier about TV, those were the lowest points in the concert for me just because they were ones I didn't really know that well. Followed by Canadian Idiot, Somebody to Love. This is another song I'd never really heard before, but it kicked ass. This song, he was all in a tigerish outfit. He was flirty with a bunch of women in the crowd during that song. The lot of sensual lyrics, lots of subtle innuendos. And it was hilarious just to hear some of the stuff that came out of his mouth during that song. There was a parody of a movie trailer that basically documented Weird Al's life. I don't think this is a legitimate movie, although the trailer, it made it look like a movie where it would actually be really cool if it were a movie. And I know it was just a parody because Weird Al actually starred in it himself as the guy who said, "This parody idea will never work." So that was really cool. Then he did a medley of several different songs all in a row. It wasn't a medley like a few seconds and then switch to another song. It was a couple minutes of a song and then switching to another. He did Money for Nothing Beverly Hillbillies, Whatever You Like, Another Tattoo, another new one which is really good, eBay, Quack All Night, that's another one I've never heard, Ryer the Kaiser, Spam, also never heard that one, My Bologna, going back to his roots, that one was pretty sweet. A song about Peter Parker and becoming Spider-Man, I've never heard it, but this one I really liked. Lasagna, Eat It, Yes. Amish Paradise, heck yes. Amish Paradise wasn't even part of the medley. Amish Paradise, he did to its entirety, the whole song, because Amish Paradise is awesome, and it deserves that. Then again, all of these songs deserve that. I would have liked to hear all of them. He did not do I Lost on Jeopardy, something I was slightly disappointed about. He did that song Craigslist. He parodies the style of The Doors, which I thought was really well done. He was acting all drunk, dancing around with the mic. I think that was parodying the singer. I don't know much about The Doors, so I'm not sure. If anyone wants to explain it to me, feel free. And during Craigslist, he had a hilarious little thing where there was a musical intermission, and he told a hilarious story about a Dutch Brothers on Vista Avenue. And basically what happened is he said he was on the phone with his mother, and there were like 20 cars behind him, and then the guy was urging him to order, and he holds up a finger. He's like, I held up a finger. That means I'll order my hazelnut mocha cappuccino in a minute. Doubt that was a true story, but freaking hilarious nonetheless. Also, for those of you who have never seen his College Humor video, where he's doing a polka theme for the Titanic, basically what's happening is he's singing about how everybody aboard the ship is doomed. It's awesome. If you haven't seen the video, go check it out. It's Weird Al Yankovic on a boat. They performed his more famous of recent parodies, one of his newest ones, performed this way. And I loved it. I loved how it took shots at Lady Gaga. There's just so much to satire about what she does for her performance. They did White and Nerdy. Obviously, I'm someone who can relate to that song very well. Throughout the thing, there were also 2 educational parody videos, which basically said, Our Friends, The Brain, and The Dirt. The Brain, it mentioned zombies and stuff. The Dirt, it mentioned don't eat the dirt. Then he did Fat. There were a few really good jokes in this one. There was the part where in the song he goes, "Oh!" But then later in the song he does it again. But then some guy in a Santa outfit walks by. He goes like, "Hoo, hoo, hoo." And he's holding a hoe, the garden tool. That was great. I feel like they could have had a prostitute in there, so like, ho. But that might have made just a little much. And this was a huge tease, because after that, he walked off stage and so did everybody else. So I'm like, it's over already? It's not even 2 hours. But thankfully, to the pleasure of everybody else, he came back out and did a 2-song Star Wars encore. Saga Begins, which was great, during the line where he says, "But I'm still here and he's a ghost." He stretched out the he like, he. And then he did Yoda, which was admittedly not one of my favorites. It's pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but it's just not my favorite. I don't know it as well as some of his other stuff. And there was an intermission where he just did a bunch of crazy noises, and it was really cool. And then he finished off Yoda, and then the show was over. My only complaint about the whole thing was it took place at a performing arts center, which means we had to actually have seats for this thing. It was ridiculous to have seats for a Weird Al concert because, face it, it's Weird Al. I need to go nuts for this kind of thing. So it doesn't really help me to express my full emotion for this kind of event if I can't be on the floor, standing up, jumping around, going nuts. I would have liked to have that, but I digress. Now, Al TV. It was brilliant. Although Lose Yourself was not performed. I was disappointed about that. It had this skit about Eminem. It made fun of the fact that Weird Al did not get approval from Eminem to do a video of the Lose Yourself parody. So he just played the song, and then Eminem shut it off out of jealousy. He's like, man, it's silly, it's repetitive. And then Weird Al's like, well, Marshall, I can't change the music. I can only change the lyrics. And a bunch of other things. There was Kevin Federline, who said he was touring, and I was like, whoa. After 9/11 and Katrina, don't you think America has suffered enough? Oh, God. And there was Jessica Simpson acting like a total idiot. And I was like hitting on her somewhat by saying he wanted to pour cheese all over her. Oh, God, that guy. Robert Plant, who was kind of like a little weird. And then Robert Plant asked him to hold his hand, which was a little weird. Avril Lavigne, she just mumbled some weird stuff that was only... It just didn't make any sense. It was weird, that's all I can say. Justin Timberlake I thought was really funny in this scenario because in the interview he said, I believe if you give 150%, you will always get 100% back. And then I was like, but then you're losing 50%! A blonde girl who I think is Gwen Stefani. I don't remember what she was talking about, although I remember Weird Al saying, name at least 3 people that you have not had sex with. And then there was like a long silence, and then she's like, that's a tough one. There was Keith Richards. He was just mumbling a lot and then laughing as if what he was saying was funny, even though no one knew what the heck he was saying. Then there was Celine Dion. Weird Al asked the question, is there anything you want to do? She's like, I want to have children. Just stuff like that. I can't remember it all. Weird Al also asked her a variety of questions, like, do you like fat boys in bicycle shorts? Basically, she just kept answering yes, 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 yes. And then Weird Al tried to get $5 out of her, which was really funny. And that's all for the Al TV stuff. So my final verdict, Weird Al is a comedic genius. Musically, he makes parodies, and even just original songs that maybe parody a style of music. But I think that's what people overlook some of the time, is he makes a lot of original stuff that really holds its own. And then Al TV, of course, was a lot of funny material for us to look at. He's just talented musically in a variety of senses, in the fact that he can sing incredibly. Weird Al is a terrific singer. He can sing in a lot of different pitches. He can go low or he can go high, like most people are used to hearing him. And I knew that it was him legitimately singing because I had heard on his album he would generally sing at lower pitches. And that's something I didn't really like about his new album, Alpocalypse, is that he had the pitch being pretty low when he was singing, and I thought he just sounded a lot better for those particular tunes when it was in his higher voice. And he sang them in his higher voice at the concert, so he still got it. And he does it incredibly well. His costumes also, it makes it more of a performance instead of just gathering at a concert hall to watch some guy sing. So really, the $60 roughly that I paid for my ticket, I was getting a freaking show, not just a concert. And that was amazing. What he got done in 2 hours blows away any concert I've ever been to. My mind is just blown away. Weird Al Yankovic, you will live forever in our memories because you are a comedic badass.